Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I am super excited to have this guest on. I've been trying to get this guy's so busy, right? Been trying to get this guy on our Facebook Lives, one of our newest sponsors, and I'm super excited because here's the thing. As dental professionals, we work so hard in our practice, right? We're working with these two hands, working so hard. And hey, we pay our fair share of taxes, but sometimes if we don't have the right strategy, you're actually paying more. And that's the thing. You don't have to pay, you shouldn't pay more than what you have to. We pay our fair share. That's why I have Harsh Patel is our newest sponsor with HMP uh, uh, CPAs. And Harsh, thank you so much for jumping on, my friend.
Thank you, Dr. Glenn. Thanks for taking me on. I'm really excited to go through our session today.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's the biggest thing. And again, I hear it all the time. Like people are like, well, who's your CPA? Like, and we're always trying to figure out like what CPA should we use? What's a good CPA? What should our CPA just like, file our taxes? That's it. Should they be there for tax strategy? There's so many definitions of what a CPA should do. But Harsh, let me ask you, so from a philosophical standpoint, what is your position? What is your role when you're working with your clients, with your dental clients? Like, what do you see? What do you do? What kind of information and value do you bring to them?
Yeah, so HMP is a full service accounting firm, and I'm the sole owner of it. And our team focuses on solely dental practice owners. So what we do is the full spiel in terms of bookkeeping, payroll, advisory services, income tax prep. So the biggest thing we're seeing is our CPA is not focusing enough time on their clients. So what we would try to do differently is spend more time, set monthly meetings, do a full analysis, implement tax strategies. So that's where our focus lies on. And we try to give our ROI in terms of just a nice consultation and implementing our tax strategies. So the tax savings at the end of the day should be much higher than what you pay me.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing. I think if we get enough tax savings, we'd gladly pay for all those savings, right? No matter who we're working with. Now, Harsh, I want to ask you this because you have this, there's a curse that Asian people have, okay? And that is we look younger than we really are. You look really young, man, okay? So I want to let our audience know, like, tell us about your background because again, like when I'm talking to you, it's like, man, this guy looks like he just got out of college, like he looks so young. But tell us about your experience. Like, how long have you been a CPA? And also, specifically, how long have you been working with people like me?
Yeah, so we've been working with dental practice owners for quite a while. Initially, we started our firm as general practice, but as we went on, we've developed a lot of good relationships with dental practices. So I tried to switch over my firm to focus more on dental practices. The reason being, uh, as in my family, we have a lot of healthcare professionals, and kind of seeing the impact they make with patients, it's really inspiring. Although I cannot make an impact directly, I know I can help dental practice owners improve patient care by the end of the day by implementing our tax savings plans. So we try to focus solely on that, just a reason. So if I have a practice with one client having a certain issue and another client is doing well in this area, we can do a nice comparison, nice analysis. So
Yeah.
focusing on one niche definitely makes an impact, and that way we can improve our client care as well.
So look, I'm going to ask you, and again, this I want you just your professional opinion. Okay, just your professional opinion. And again, you can use all your history of working with other dentists and whatnot, and talking to other dental professionals. Would you say that dental professionals, dental practice owners, on average, we pay too much taxes?
Yes, I totally agree. Reason being, a lot of time is focused on the practice, right? So as like a dental practice owner, you might be spending so much time and investment trying to grow your business. But even though you might be doing a million, 2 million a year, it might seem well, but in the back end, you're paying so much in taxes. It might seem fine, but in the back end, you're losing a lot of money just because your CPA or tax strategist is not spending time. So
Yeah,
it's a
and
big,
and
it's a
and
big issue.
yeah, and you said it yourself. That's like, you see that across the board. I mean, people come to you and you're saving them like thousands upon thousands of dollars. Let's kind of go into what are the most common mistakes that you see that when someone comes over and you're like, oh my gosh, again, like you're overpaying here or you're not doing this. Can you share some of those things that you see with all these clients that come over?
Yeah, so I mean, it starts off from the top, right? So right when you create your corporation, the corporation structure is not set in the right way. So like you're just in the wrong from the beginning. It's obviously not your fault because you just haven't been given the right advice. So simply like choosing a C corp versus an S corp. When you're taking distributions, things like that have a big tax impact. And just an example, recently we took on a client practice for 20 years. The structure was wrong for the first 20 years. Their CPA was a family member, so they had a good relationship, but they decided to get it fresh new eyes of things. So they went over to us, and the first thing I said, hey, like your structure is wrong. You've been just overpaying on your distributions for 20
wait,
years.
for 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
So not to make that person feel bad, because they might be in this group, but not to make them feel bad. What would you estimate is the amount of money they overspent in those 20, if we added up all the 20 years?
Yeah, so even if you do like a 20% on the distribution, even if it's like 200,000 a year, you're 40,000 over 20 years, so let's say 800,000.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And so,
Yeah.
so once you made that change, I mean, that the next time they filed, they saved a bunch of money right there.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
just
pretty
from the
sure
start.
they paid what your fee was and more, way more.
Yep. Uncle Sam is definitely happy.
So filing the wrong way. What else? Let's talk about a big thing that happens in this group is like we're always asking about deductions, right? Can we deduct this? Can we deduct that? What if we do this and we might get audited? Let's just put that. There's like these different myths and these different preconceptions. Is it true that if we try to like run a lot of things through our business, it increases our chance of getting audited? Or is that like kind of like a random thing that happens?
So it depends. There's a few things that come into play in terms of revenue. Other things, other things are like taking tax deductions which don't apply. But there are certain deductions that are completely legal that you can easily take advantage of. Something like hiring your kids under your practice. There's legal ways to go about that if you do it the right way. There's things like that. There's like home office deductions, automobile deductions. Another thing is a lot of dental practices as time goes on, they want to do renovations
Hmm.
or they want to buy new equipment. So there's different studies to do. So taking advanced depreciation and just conducting all these studies, it's a lot of things you can implement. And I mean, even if you shouldn't get an audit, but if you get an audit, okay, here's the proof.
Yeah, it's completely legal. And again,
Yep.
you brought up something, the home office, because maybe not everyone works from home a lot like me, right? But again, like if you're at home and you're doing payroll at home, let's say, or you're looking at the schedule, or if you're doing ordering and stuff like that, if you're doing actual specific tasks, would it be easy to claim the home office deduction?
Yes, depending on the situation and structure, you can. Um, there's a couple ways to go about it in terms of taking like the square feet of your office or just a lot of prorations. But yeah, it's something you can apply. Another thing that people miss out on, it's kind of a funny one. It's called the Augusta rule. So the Augusta
Oh
rule
yeah.
is renting out your home essentially for X amount of days out of the year, but it's completely legal. Say for especially during COVID, people didn't want to go out and about to random
Mhm.
places or even places didn't want to host anything, so clients were hosting things out of their house or small meetings at their house. So you can claim that rent deduction tax free, and then you don't have to claim the income on the other side. Simple things like that, it adds up at a lot at the end of the year.
So when someone kind of reaches out to you and they're like, okay, and we'll talk about there's gonna if for those who are watching right now, you probably want to know if there's a Nifty deal, if there's some kind of a consultation or something. Just hold off. Okay, you can jump. Oh, you just wait till the end. We'll talk about the Nifty deal. But if you have questions, please type in the comments. I'm just giving them all the normal questions that everyone asks all the time, and no one knows the answer, or you get answers, but you get it from other dentists, right? Look, we're gonna get it from a CPA right here who works with exclusive with dentists who own dental practices. So Harsh, the big thing that comes up all the time is, well, what about my car? Can I deduct the mileage there? I deduct the car, and there's different like people are saying, well, you have to log this, and you have to go to work and go back here and whatnot. What are the rules? What are the rules when it comes to like doing a deduction through your automobile?
Yeah, so there's a few ways to go about it. It really depends on what's the most beneficial. One is the mileage. So
Mhm.
the IRS actually increased their mileage rate after June, but yeah, you get to deduct each mile you do. It's very simple, good method depending on your situation. Other ones is the whole vehicle, right? So if the vehicle is over 6,000 pounds, you can claim that 100% the first year, but it really depends on the business use. So you kind of look at the percentage. If it's over 50%, you start prorating, and then, but yeah, you can definitely deduct your business vehicle depending on how you use it, where you use it for, but you obviously have to just making sure you're deducting it the right way. You can't get like a Lambo and say it's hey, it's for my practice, but yeah, there you can get like a nice car for yourself, and if you're using it for your business, definitely deduct it.
What if the car again, I'm just gonna go one step further because I remember someone posting it. Someone they wanted to use their car and they would like put like a decal on it, right? That advertises their office. By doing that, does that kind of increase the legitimacy of using the vehicle for your business?
I
Does
would
that
say
help
so
or
because
does it help?
I would say it definitely helps because not only are you using it for going to do certain things for your business, but you're also using it for an advertising standpoint.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, like, hey, this is my marketing vehicle. Um, it's people do that. I mean, it's legal.
Yeah, yeah. So again, these are the type of things that hey, you need to work with a CPA who knows what they're doing, but also works with dentists and understands our business too. So again, let's go back to like some of the things that you've seen. Obviously, you work with a lot of dental professionals, work somewhere else. We've already talked about not setting the company up the right way. Then also not taking all these deductions that are there. What other some of the other things that you have seen in the past that dentists like are notorious for when it comes to not taking advantage of like the
Yeah.
tax laws in this country?
Big one during COVID, just certain credits, the employee retention credit.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
huge, huge, huge. Yeah. So like, there's CPAs definitely, some of them are just not spending time on it. And then, if you're going out, hanging out with buddies, say, hey, like I just got this credit. I'm like, oh my God, my CPA just didn't even advise me about it. But yeah, that's a big one. You can claim quite a bit on that. Other ones that I see is the research and R&D credit, research and development
Oh,
credit.
okay.
Um, yeah, depending on the procedures, development, what you're doing in your practice, it varies, but a lot of practices are eligible for that. So we try to do, we have a really high in-depth software where we'll look at your tax returns, we'll look at your books, kind of analyze everything, and we'll look at line by line and making sure like you're getting the maximum dollar. Um, our team will put it into place, import into the software, put into place, analyze it, and we'll run like a nice fancy report for you saying this is our tax strategy and we can what you're missing out on. But I would say on average, people are missing out on a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, no, and definitely. I mean, again, you work with so many different dentists that come in and they're like, okay, you see all these opportunities, you see all these savings, especially that one poor doc who for 20 years was just missing out with filed their taxes on the wrong entity and they basically overspent like 800,000. Man, that hurts right there.
Yeah.
Hurts my
Yep.
pocket.
Yep.
So Harsh, so let me ask you this. So generally when someone works with your firm, right, obviously we'll talk about like the consultation, the Nifty deal, but how does that work? Like just walk us through like the beginning. Someone wants to work with you, and again, we have a lot of startup practices in here, people who are starting to open their practice for the first time, never really needed like a full service CPA because they were just working for someone else. So this is specifically to you guys, because for those who are watching, you're about to open your practice. There's a number of you guys I talked to, and you don't know how to set things up right. This is the time to talk. But again, for someone like that who's going to reach out to you and they're like, okay, I need you to set up everything and I'm about to open a practice. What are the first steps and how does it work? How does it work, working with your firm?
Yeah, so initially we do like a free tax and accounting analysis session.
Mhm.
So it's a quick Zoom call. We'll kind of go over briefly over the little things, and seeing what they're trying to do. And then from there, we'll look at like if you're purchasing a practice, look at the whole asset analysis. We'll do the little things to and we'll be right by your side. So our goal is not to just, hey, you do this by yourself. We kind of want to grow with you.
Mhm.
So we'll be by your side, help you grow, teach you things, and then from there, we'll implement our tax strategy. So come month one, we'll do the whole books, and then our team will look at each line item, and then going forward, we'll start to do comparisons for prior quarters, do a expense analysis to say, hey, we're spending too much here, payroll is way too high here, our percentage is going way over. What can we do? So that way we'll do a business advisory. So not only just doing the regular compliance work, we'll help you on the business end in terms of just helping your business grow. And then with our tax planning, we'll do like quarterly tax planning, tax estimates. So when it comes down to just doing your annual tax return, you're ready to go. You've implemented these strategies all year round. The deductions are set in place. So it's not just, hey, it comes tax time. Hey,
It is
I
like a
forgot
whole
about this
mountain
tax
of
bill.
stuff that you have to do.
Yeah. And it's also like, hey, like, oh my God, I couldn't deduct this. I didn't do this, didn't do that. And now I can't do it till next year. So the whole year went by and hey, you just lost out on all this money and you guys have a nice tax bill like waiting for you. So
Oh gosh, yeah,
we'll try to
that's
help you
stressful.
throughout the way all year round.
Yeah, and so also, you had also said that your firm also does the bookkeeping as well, right?
Yeah, so we'll do the books. We also payroll, advisory, income tax prep, tax estimates, tax planning. So we'll do the whole thing, and that way it's easier. A lot of times people do the books separately. They'll go to another person, do the income tax separately. So there's a lot of communication issues with that, and a lot of things going missed because one person's taking care of books, and then the tax prep guy he doesn't know what's going on in the back end, right? He just sees the
Yeah.
line item this for this deduction, but
I,
inside
I
there's all
love
this
that you
craziness.
brought that up because there's so many people who have two different entities that do their financials. They have a bookkeeper and they have a CPA that handles all the filing at the end of the year. I love the fact that you have everything together because that is true. There's a lot of stuff going on the bookkeeping side that you need to know on the tax side when it comes to deductions and all that. So I love how you keep everything together there because keeps things nice and clean, I'd assume.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we try to specialize in the full service, like top to bottom. We want to help you there and help you with you grow. So doing everything at once definitely is something we suggest for everyone to do, just so things are clean and you get the maximum dollar.
So Harsh, you have a lot of clients that are dentists, and you also have a lot of family members that are in the health profession. And you know how things are when you're a health professional. Everything's an emergency if we don't know what's going on, and so we're always like probably like how is the for your firm? How is it when it comes to like just being able to for a client to get a hold of you and whatnot? Like, is that like an open line there? Because again, a lot of people, a lot of dentists, we have a question. We want to know right away. We want to call you. We want to text you. We want to send you a Facebook
Yeah.
message. All those things. How does the communication go with people who become a client with your firm?
Yeah, so that's something great you mentioned. So just growing up, my dad had a different accountant. As his CPA firm grew, it was just hard to get a hold of him, and that's something. It's a common outlier you see
Yeah.
in every single CPA firm, not every single, but like most, I would say, where they grow too big, they can't spend enough time on their clients. So that's where, even in our offer packaging, we say, hey, this is our 24-hour guarantee time, or you could commit to a 48-hour guarantee time or 72-hour guarantee time. And even in our contract, we say, hey, if you're not happy with our just the quality of deliverables or response times, et cetera, we'll refund you our last month's payment. So that's a way of
Wow.
for us to making sure we're responsive and making sure that the client is also satisfied on their end. But because they, yeah,
I have never ever heard a CPA ever make that promise. That is amazing. So it's so amazing that
yeah.
I'm gonna have you say it one more time. So you were saying like if your clients, what you guys guarantee is that you're gonna give them a response. And how long? How long is it? Because this
Yeah,
is a
so
big one.
between 24 to 72 hours, depending on how you commit on, but that's
Yeah.
something we go by, and that's
So
something where we
not
can
like
hold
a
our
week
standards on.
later. So not
Yeah,
like a
definitely
week
not.
later.
Yeah, because some things can be important if you get a tax notice and things like that. And if you can't get a hold of your CPA, what are you paying it for?
No, I love that, and I love the fact that if they're not happy that you refund the previous month. I've
Yeah,
never heard that before, but I love the fact that you guys you guys work to earn your clients business every single month. So I love that. I love that. Okay, so now here's the big thing here. Now for those who again with dentists, we want to know what your credentials are. We are laid that out. You work with dentists. You work with a lot of us. You come from a family, a lot of health professionals. You understand our mentality, right? You're offering the service and everything. But most dentists, we're thinking like, okay, well, I don't know what you can do for me, right? I don't know what you can do for me. I've been working with some CPA, or maybe I'm working with CPA. I'm not happy. I just don't know what you can do. But you have a solution to that, Harsh, right? And that's our Nifty deal right there. Tell us about your offer here and how you can give someone an opportunity to learn what they could do, what you guys can do, and how much they could save by working with you.
Yep, absolutely. So we start off with a free tax and accounting analysis session. No commitment or anything. So just a simple call going over things. So then that I'll learn about your business. And then once I get a full detail of your tax returns, your tax filings and your books, we'll run an analysis, run it through our softwares. We'll give you a whole strategy, tax strategy, show your tax savings. So people like on average 10 to 20,000 easily.
Wow.
It's being missed all the time, and um, it's something that we love to do, and it's free, of course. So there's no harm for you to do it. It just if you're not willing to go on with us, you can at least get a tax plan and send it to your CPA. So there's no harm, and
No,
that's
Harsh.
the way.
I'm gonna ask you this though. What you just said there. So again, talk about so what's involved in there. So it's a tax and accounting analysis where you kind of look at everything, kind of bird's eye overview, dissect everything, and then you said so there's more involved in that. So after you do that, you said you put it through the software and you can come up with an actual plan.
Yeah, so we'll send you a nice detailed report. So with that, we'll run a comparison of, hey, you paid this much tax last year. This is what you missed out on. This is how much you can save the next 2-3 years if you implement these strategies. And then also, we'll like with the new Biden tax plan and all the proposals, there's also things in play where we'll put in the report with saying, hey, this is potentially coming up. You can save here and there. But yeah, what we try to do is just kind of continuously our team is there to implement these tax strategies. So we'll
Now
look at
that
the business top down.
Yeah, so that this tax and accounting analysis and going through all that stuff, that sounds like a lot of work on your end. I'm just curious, how much is that normally? Like, what's the value of that analysis and all that work? What do you guys normally charge?
Simple consultation calls could be roughly around 2,000.
Wow.
Implementing just a simple tax strategy for someone who's saving 20,000. A tax plan that's handed to you with the full detail of every single thing to take use of, that could run 6 to 7,000 alone. But we want to help you grow, and we want to help you like teach you and get the nice
Hey,
instruction. So
hey, and you want to show everybody what they can save. So, guys, free, it's a tax and accounting analysis, but Harsh and his teams are going to show you where you're overspending, where you can save some money. I mean, he's talked about on average saved about 20,000. Most of the people that come over, this is at least I said 2,000, but after hearing all that, I think it's a lot more. But it's at least a 2,000 value. It's going to be for free. And
yep,
again, you have nothing to lose. I mean, you get it, you see the savings. He's going to prove it to you, he's going to show it to you. And at that point, you have to decide if you want to overspend or not, right? And we're not even talking about not paying your fair share. That has nothing to do with anything. For all
yep.
all the dental practice owners here, you already know we pay our fair share in taxes. We don't have to pay more than we have to. Okay, you pay your fair share, not more than you have to. Reach out to Harsh. Harsh, I'm going to get that link from you. All you guys have to do is go to that landing page, put your info in, do the free consultation. That's the value of at least $2,000. He will show you himself, and then hopefully once you switch over and save all this money, you can come back on with us with Harsh, and you can say what all the amazing things he's done. Okay, Harsh. So before we jump off here, man, this is amazing stuff there. What do you have something message to all the dental practice owners in this group? Just a quick message before we log off here.
Yep, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing is to get financial clarity over your practice. And the biggest thing as any healthcare professional, eventually we deal with a burnout. So these tax savings, these tax strategies will help you eventually retire early. And even taking a quick look, it'll make a substantial difference.
Yeah. Hey, amen to that. So, Harsh,
Yep.
thank you so much for jumping on. And guys, he is part of our community. So, if you ever ask anything when it comes to taxes or bookkeeping or any of those things, I'm going to tag him in it. He's part of our community. He's here to be of service. And again, reach out to him. Take advantage of that consultation, right? It's a $2,000 value. You only know what you know. Hey, you might like your CPA, that's fine, but at least look at it and see, right? Maybe, and if you don't like your CPA or you're looking around, look at Harsh here, take advantage of this deal, talk to him, and who knows, at the very least, you'll have a lot more clarity, and on the upside, you can be saving up to 20,000. So I love that. So Harsh, thank you so much for jumping on, my friend. Guys, we'll have him on a lot more. We'll definitely do another podcast with him. But thank you, Harsh, and guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.